Well, guys, I want to respect your time. I don't want to delay any longer. We're going to get started with this webinar today. And as I promised, what this webinar will be, at first, we're going to knock out a lot of things regarding Instagram. I'm probably going to answer a lot of your questions right off the bat through my presentation today. However, what I want you guys to be able to do is get some free consultation from me. So after I move through all the bells and whistles with Instagram, why we should use it, how to use it, especially if you are in real estate, guys, I want you guys to be able to ask me anything. And so what we're going to do is, after I move through my presentation, I want you all, not now, but I'll tell you when, I want you guys to go ahead and put at least 2 questions in the chat box. And the questions, if I could ask at all for you guys to be very, very specific when it comes to the questions. So I can't really answer any broad questions. There's a lot of people in this webinar today, and I can't answer general questions like, for example, what do you think about my webinar? What do you think about my Instagram account? That's just too general for me. But if you can ask me questions about, what do you think? Who should I follow? Or how do I grow my followers? If you have questions like that, I can give you some actionable insight and input. Okay, sounds good? If you guys can let me know in the chat, sounds good. If it sounds good, give me a thumbs up, an emoji, or just say sounds good, and I'll know that we're all tracking down the same path. Okay, all right, Gloria, hi. Hi, Mandy, thanks so much. Mandy said sounds good. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. If you have any trouble if you have any trouble at all with seeing my screen, if anything breaks, let me know in the chat. Great way for us to keep communicating with each other, okay? All right, guys. So I'm actually going to turn my video off so that we'll have full and total attention toward what I have laid out for you today, what I have laid out for the webinar. So I'm going to go ahead and try at least to turn off my video here, and we can go ahead and get started with all of this wonderful information. So let me go ahead and click stop video. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, and also this webinar is recording, so if you want the replay, we'll go ahead and get that for you too. So let's talk about today why we're here. So we are here to learn how to grow our business with Instagram. And I have an agenda laid out for you. First, we're going to talk about the benefits. Why is Instagram so important? Guys, I do marketing and branding for the real estate industry primarily, but different industries. And I do coaching and consulting. And in fact, I have someone that I was on, she's on this call right now, that I was on the phone with today doing some coaching, some branding and marketing coaching. And one of the things that she kept asking me was, why is this important? Why am I on LinkedIn? Why am I using Facebook? Am I just doing this to spin my wheels, or am I using platforms that's actually going to give me a return? And so I'm a show me person. I want to know exactly why I need to do something. And because of that, today, we're going to talk about the benefits. Why should Instagram be your top platform? My presentation today also is going to cover the commonly asked questions that I get from all the real estate professionals. If you guys know me, you know that I train and consult and work with hundreds and hundreds of real estate professionals during my career. And I get the same questions typically, especially about Instagram. So the information that I'm going to share with you is going to answer a lot of your questions up front. And then, like I said, I want you guys to leave your questions in the comment box as we go along, 2 questions per person, and I'll be able to answer those as well. So we're going to go ahead and let's dive into it. So if you guys could start leaving your questions in the comment box, any questions that you have about Instagram, and I'll be sure to cover those. That'll be the last thing I do. So please stay until the end of the presentation, okay? All right, so I'm going to get into a little bit about my background. I do see several people here who know me, who have been in my courses, have, at least you know me when you know someone on social media, you see me as much as you do on Instagram. If we're connected there, you feel like you know somebody, right? And so I just want to share a little bit of my background. What makes me the quote unquote Instagram expert? And so I'm going to take it to just the basics. My degree, guys, I graduated from UAB with a degree in mass communication. I specialized in journalism, and I could not get a job doing what I love until I was able to reinvent my brand. I ended up with that degree doing things that I just hated. And it wasn't until I developed a solid brand, even as a corporate employee, I landed my job. I became the digital content strategist for a global company. And during that time, after 8 years of working for that company, I decided to leave corporate America and start my company, Competitive Edge Online Marketing and Branding. And I also got my certification from Kennesaw State University in digital content strategy as a digital marketing strategist. I have built a six-figure company over the past 5 years, and I've done this from nothing, from the ground up. But also with using social media platforms like LinkedIn, like Instagram, and Facebook that have opened up incredible doors for me. And I'm so grateful and thankful for the opportunity. So the other thing that I want to say is I'm also a published author. I wrote a book, branding for real estate professionals. So if you guys want to check that on Amazon, feel free to do so. And another thing that I want to say is that I am an avid Instagram user. And I was just like many of you. I was just kind of doing Instagram, going through the motions, maybe even just doing Instagram because they quote unquote, they said it was a good thing to do. But it wasn't until about a year and a half ago that I took my Instagram presence seriously. I was not so serious about it. And ever since I changed some things that I was doing with Instagram, my business has exploded. My goal as an entrepreneur, I was actually, my goal was to be a national speaker. And last year, I actually landed my first national speaking gig at George Mason University. And it was all through Instagram. My goal was to speak, and I approached someone that I saw was putting together a marketing conference. And I said, hey, I'm a speaker. I'd love to come. And I approached her through Instagram because I saw the post on Instagram. And she went through my profile on Instagram and made a decision to bring me in. It was my profile. It was my personal brand. It was the content. She was able to see exactly who I was, and she was able to envision in a personal way me being a speaker. And so I want that for everybody who's on this call today. That is my goal for you. It's to be able to take this information and for you to be able to convey in a powerful way who you are, what you do, and the value that you bring to the table to the people that you want to work with. And so that's what we're going to cover today. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping. If you all could, shameless ploy here, I'd love for you to follow me at Shantha Wetterhan on Instagram. Of course, I got to plug that, and I will follow you right back. I don't spam you on my account. I share really good information. So I share marketing tips. I would love for you guys to follow me, and you guys keep on bringing me those questions. I see Helen has already left a question. I want you guys to go ahead and get as much as you can out of this time together. So go ahead and keep leaving those questions as you can in the chat box. I also have an exclusive group. It's by invitation only. So I'm inviting everybody here who's on the webinar to join the Real Estate Marketing Academy on Facebook. It's my exclusive Facebook group for real estate professionals. And I post tips, tools, resources, and that. Would love for you to join. Also, again, leave your questions in the chat and stay to the end, okay? You won't want to miss the end. I have a special gift for everybody who stays to the end, okay? All right. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about that. I told you about my book. Let's talk about the marketing benefits of marketing your business with Instagram. The first thing that you get when you make a decision to use Instagram in order to grow your business is local brand awareness. Everyone wants to be known. Everyone wants to be seen and identified as an expert in their local space, especially when it comes to real estate. People are going to choose to work with you. People are going to choose to do business with you because they know that you can help them with a local need that they have, which is buying or selling real estate in that local community. So what Instagram has done for me and the clients that I work with has provided me an opportunity to reach people on a local scale. Having that local connection, local brand awareness. You want local leads. You want to follow local accounts. So a lot of times people think that they have to cast this huge, gigantic net, and you really don't. You just need to be seen, known, and recognized in your neck of the woods. And we're going to talk a little bit about exactly what that looks like. Hopefully you guys will be asking me questions on how to grow your accounts amongst your local communities that you seek to work in. Another thing that Instagram has done for me is it's helped me generate leads. So of course, I send a message as soon as I post a video. I love that Helen has asked me in chat right now, how can she put a video on Instagram that's more than 1 minute? Very good question. I actually have a hack for you, Helen. But one of the things that video has helped me do is every time I post a video, it just opens up a bigger, more impactful conversation with a lead prospect or client. So you all, everyone on here should be doing, no matter what industry you're in, video should be the focal point of your marketing strategy, especially in this day and age with everything that's happening with the social distancing. It's difficult. Now, the number one reason why I'm going to choose to work with you is because I trust you. And there is no way that I can trust you unless I'm able to make a human interaction, a human connection with you. Okay. So familiarity breeds trust, especially when you're looking to work with a professional. And video, my ability to see you, see your essence, just really making that connection with you helps grow leads, sales, and referrals. Okay. So that's how we're going to grow that with Instagram. Another thing that Instagram can do for you is drive brand recognition. So if you're posting, if you're consistent, if your visuals, if your colors, your content, your graphics, your tone, your message, if all that's clear, and if you are consistent with delivering that value, then I'm going to be able to recognize you as a standout brand. I heard that there were over 30,000 real estate professionals in the Atlanta market alone. How in the world can you stand apart from so many people? What are you doing in order to stand apart, to shine through, to get your voice seen and heard? And one of the things that Instagram can do is allow you to have strong, impactful, and clear brand recognition. And another thing that I'm really excited about, and I love this question, Tammy left a question in the chats here. How do you create a brand? And I get this question all the time from years and years of working with big brands, small brands, individuals, organizations. The one thing that rings true with amongst all these entities is that clarity is the one thing that it's hard to get your hands around. Where do you start when it comes to building a brand? The first thing that you need to consider when it comes to building a solid personal brand is your brand is what other people say about you when you're not around. And this day and age, when you are no longer able to make a human connection with people in person, your personal brand is so much more important than ever before. Your brand and people's ability to connect with it and be loyal to who you are as a professional starts with your online presence. And one of the things that I want to ask you, are you positioned where people can find you? When I Google you, what do I see? When I go to Instagram, is your profile filled out? If I do a search for realtor or real estate agent in your area or in your space, does your profile come up for me? Does it populate? Your brand is so much more than a logo, a fancy tagline, or even your colors. Your brand is an essence. It's a feeling. It's an emotion that you leave with people when they have an engagement with something that you do. So your brand is so much more than what you think it is. Another thing that Instagram allows you to do is provide viral marketing opportunities. And a lot of times people get caught up in this. So there is another marketing expert, quote unquote. I don't like that word, as you can see, but there is someone who does exactly what I do, and they have an Instagram presence. I went, and I'm going to share on this a little bit later in my presentation, but I went to their profile to do some market research. And that market research meant that I actually went to see what type of hashtags they were using so that I could, use those similar hashtags in order to get as many likes and followers and that sort of thing. And yet they had a really great hashtag strategy. However, they had hundreds and thousands more followers than I do, but their engagement was a lot less than mine. And when they posted something, it was barely any comments or maybe a few likes. But when I post something, I have a very small audience, but they're people who are excited about what I do, excited about what I offer, and they're people who really want to engage with my brand. And so I want to ask you that. Are you wrapped up in the vanity of having 1 million likes and followers? Or are you building a niche audience that's excited and engaged with what you do specifically? Are you famous for what you do and for your neck of the woods and what you want to offer? When it comes to Instagram, this is very important, solely from the standpoint of Instagram's algorithm. If you build a bunch of followers on Instagram that don't care about what you do or what you offer, if you do that, guys, Instagram actually will ding your content for that, because they feel as if you're not providing valuable content if you're not getting that engagement. So if you are if you're growing an audience, if you're growing an audience that's not engaged with your content, then you're going to lose some of the weight of having quality content. Instagram's not going to show your content to as many people as it possibly could. We'll get into that a little bit too as well. All right. All right, guys, you guys still trekking with me? Let me know. I want you guys to talk to me. Let me know if you guys trekking, and does this make sense? Do you have any questions about this stuff? If you do, just, of course, leave your questions in the comments, okay? All right, guys. So I want to, yes, Dawn, yes, all of these tips, absolutely. As you can see, Dawn is asking, can all these tips be used for other businesses? Absolutely, 100%. Everything that we talk about, not only can these tips, Dawn, if you're not in real estate, thank you for being here, by the way. If you're not in real estate and you do something else, you can take this stuff is universal. Not only can you implement this for your other businesses, because a lot of people in real estate have multiple streams of income, but you can implement everything that we're sharing today and cross it over to your other platforms as well. Okay, so yeah, you can take this stuff and run with it. So let's talk about the fact that numbers don't lie. The first thing that I want to talk about with Instagram and the benefits of it, guys, there are 500 million people that use Instagram every month. 300 million people use the platform daily. There are 4.2 billion likes on this platform every single day, guys. 216,000 photos are posted every minute on the Instagram platform. Do you guys realize that 30% of the total US population use Instagram? Now, if that number is staggering to you, let me know in the chats. That is a crazy number, 30%. And you know what? I bet because we're all locked in now, working from home, these numbers are probably going to go up. 8 out of 10 users visit business profiles. If you don't have a business profile, can you let me know in the chats, please? Everyone here should consider having a business profile, and I'm going to tell you the difference between the two. I don't know about you, but I do have a Facebook business account. And do you know how hard it is? And I do this for a living. It is really hard for me to get people to convert over on my business account when it comes to Facebook. I have to spend a lot of money. I have to do a lot of things, a lot of babying and coddling that account. Instagram, if I have a business account, people visit it. There's no issues at all. 200 million Instagrammers actively visit business profiles every day. This is not the same for Facebook. And more than half of all millennials are on Instagram every day. And if you are in here and in real estate, and you know that millennials are the #1 home buying generation, do you know that more than half are using Instagram every day? And if you're doing some other kind of business, millennials are part of your key demographic, guys. They're highly educated. It's an affluent demographic. They have jobs for now. I'm crying and chuckling at the same time, okay, guys? And more than half of all of them are actually on Instagram every single day. Are you where your leads, prospects, and clients are? Okay, guys, let's go ahead and move forward. So as we wind down with this, okay, Mark, Garrett, Gloria, you know what, guys? You don't have a business profile, but we're going to get you squared away today, okay? All right, so let's talk about the top 10 reasons why Instagram is one of the best platforms for real estate lead generation. Number one, you don't have to compete with Zillow. If you're in real estate, you know what I mean. This is an inside joke. If you are in real estate, you know what I mean. Okay, if you're not in real estate, you still have to compete with SEO. And so when it comes to your Instagram, this really helps with your SEO. A lot of times people think that SEO deals with Google alone, but it's really all about your search engine optimization. Your search engine optimization is now weighted heavily on your social media profiles. If you guys Google my name, and I gladly, please do if you want. If you Google me, you'll notice that some of my social media profiles come up really high in Google search, LinkedIn being one of them. And so these social media profiles are being indexed by Google. You want to make sure that you have them established, that they're totally filled out with all the correct information. It really will help with your SEO, okay? If you're using the right hashtags, your Instagram profile, your content will rank higher when it comes to SEO. That means that your content will be found quicker when people are looking for what you have to offer. Okay. And guess what? If you're using Facebook and you're banging your head against the desk or against the table or whatever, Instagram has 10 times more engagement than Facebook. Okay. 10 times more engagement. This is where the engagement takes place. And I don't know about you guys, but it's really important that my clients have jobs. So on average, Instagram users are more affluent. It's a more affluent demographic. I love Instagram because you can message anyone. And I'm not telling y'all, I'm not really talking about those cruddy, those kind of makes you feel icky, spammy DMs. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is making a powerful, personal connection with someone and sending either a video, voice audio clip, or furthering up another conversation that you had previously with a lead. You can send voice audio clips. I do it all the time. You can send video clips, and Instagram is a great way to take someone maybe from your email list or maybe from LinkedIn and carry that relationship further on Instagram. Another thing that I love about Instagram is stories, and I'm not going to get into stories today. I actually have a follow-up. If you guys want a second webinar about how to use Instagram stories, I'll actually share my screen at that time and show you where to find stories, how to post stories, what to do with stories. If you guys would like that, go ahead and leave me a comment in the chat. And I'll put together a webinar for next week and we'll get deep into stories. But stories is a wonderful way for you to have a two-way conversation with your audience. I love stories. I go live on Instagram at least once a week and it opens up wonderful conversations. So these are the reasons why we definitely should be using Instagram. Let's get into the types of, if you are in real estate, let's get into the types of leads that agents are getting, my clients are getting. So local home buyers looking to sell, local buyers looking for homes in the area, out-of-town realtors looking for referrals, out-of-town buyers, past clients staying in front of and top of mind. The list goes on and on. When it comes to growing leads with Instagram, it's all about your content. It's going to be all about your content. And so Dawn asked, she goes, hey, what if I'm not even in real estate? Will this really work? Yes. No matter what you're trying to do, you always want to ask yourself, what's my goal? Who is my ideal client? What frustrates them? What information are they asking others for? What do they need from me? What are the same questions am I always answering for people? How can I entertain them? How can I encourage them? And you're going to answer all those questions through high quality content. If I go to your Instagram account and it's selling, 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 it's going to turn me off pretty quickly. And so we want to make sure that our content is in line with serving and giving and value. So let's talk about, I got a few little tricks on how to optimize your Instagram account, and then we'll move on into the questions piece, okay? So I had a couple people here in the chat who they were saying that they don't have Instagram business account just yet. There are some, if you don't have a business account, there's a couple choices that you need to make. Number one, if you don't have a business account, but you use your personal account for friends, for family, maybe you're posting things that you don't want everyone to see, maybe you just want to keep your personal account personal and private, then you might want to create a whole new account that's branded for your business. But if you're like me, a year and a half ago, I wasn't really using my Instagram account for anything. It was no skin off my back to take that Instagram account and convert it to a business. And if you convert your account to business, you're not going to lose anything. You're going to gain access to insights and analytics. Instagram tells you what time to post, when your audience is online, whether they're female or male, what age group they're in. The list goes on and on. And if you want access, which I believe everyone should be really moving their marketing strategy based on analytics, access to insights, so important, then you want that business account. With your business account as well, you can have access to a contact button. So for me, I have the link to this webinar on my Instagram business account. I'm driving people from Instagram to somewhere online. And so you can do the same thing with your Instagram account, only if it's a business account. Another thing with your Instagram account, your industry will show up on your profile. So you can actually have your industry branded on your profile, and this will help you come up in search results a lot quicker than just having a standard personal account. Another thing, when we get into Insta stories during our next webinar, I want to share with you guys that you can add links to your Insta stories, okay? So if I post something, maybe, hey, come to my next webinar, and I have a link to the Eventbrite or link to the Zoom or wherever my webinar is, I'm driving people again from Instagram to where I need them to go. For you, it could be listings, or if you have an online store, your products. It just really depends on what you're trying to achieve here. And the last thing, and I think this is one of the most important things, if you have an Instagram business account, you can advertise. You can promote stuff. You can promote your offerings in your business. You can drive people to your platform or to your website. And these are targeted promotions. So for example, for me, when I run an ad on Instagram, I can put in my core demographic, my ideal clients, and drive traffic with maybe a video or a post and get people to act upon something that I'm trying to achieve, sell, or do. And so your Instagram ads are actually, I think they're a lot cheaper. I've seen them in my case a lot cheaper than Facebook ads. So you can promote any post as long as it doesn't have too much text when it comes to your Instagram strategy, okay? So those are the key benefits of having a business account. So for all the people here who says they don't have the Instagram business account. And I actually have a cheat sheet. I'll be following up with everybody who's in the live webinar today. Although we're recording, everyone who is here live, I'm going to send you a cheat sheet. It will take you through the steps on how to set up your business account. And it has so many more things that you can use to leverage and grow your business with Instagram. But in this here, underneath settings, you can switch to, this says business profile here, but it's actually your professional account. You can switch to a professional account underneath settings in Instagram. Another thing that you want to make sure that you're doing with your Instagram account is add keywords to your name. This is going to help your profile be found when I'm searching for you. So for this particular real estate professional, when you click edit profile when you're on Instagram and you click your name and username, those are two different things. Your name on Instagram should actually be whatever you want to be found for. And your username should be your name. For example, my name on Instagram is Real Estate Marketing Expert. My username is Shantha Wetterhan. There's a reason for that. If you're looking for a real estate marketing expert, you're probably not going to search up the word Shantha Wetterhan if you don't know me. So I'm providing more of an opportunity for people who are looking for someone like me. I'm providing a better opportunity for them to be able to find me. So you can go in, if you click edit profile, you want to change your name to something that you want to be found for. For example, Barbara Percival, who's here in the webinar, she would maybe have Barbara Percival for her username, but her name would be Residential Real Estate Expert in Ackworth, or Ackworth Residential Real Estate Professional. So she wants to include the area of town that she serves or the niche that she focuses on as her name. This will really help your profile grow. You also want to use hashtags in your bio, guys. Keywords like residential or Atlanta or real estate, or, Dawn, she does networking. So, networking professional, whatever that is, you want to hashtag keywords that you want to be found for when you're updating your bio in Instagram. Okay. If you guys have any additional questions or if you need more clarity with that, definitely ask in the comments. Okay. So we've already talked about how to grow your followers, guys. We want to think locally. Another thing that I do is I like to follow current clients, leads, and prospects. And before this seemed daunting, but I'm finding myself, considering what we're going through right now, that I'm finding myself with a little more time on my hands. So when I have about 5 minutes a day, I just go through my Instagram, maybe find my past clients, my current clients, connect with people that I've, been meaning to. And also I go through my account and I leave a 4 to 5 word comment on things that really stand out for me. There are many reasons for this. Number one, when you are commenting on people's posts, of course, that's going to help that relationship. Secondly, if they click like and comment back, your future content will actually come up higher in their news feed. Instagram, it's algorithm driven. So they pick up on actions and behaviors. And if you're interacting and engaging with someone on Instagram, it sends a signal to Instagram that, hey, your content's important to me. Instagram's gonna show your content more. So that's why you wanna comment, you want to like, you want to engage with people's content. And also you want to post frequently. There was a time that I was posting like twice a day on Instagram. Now I post about 1 to 2 times a week. But guys, I put my stock in the game. I put skin in the game for that to happen. I had to grow an account. I had to grow my following. I had to grow an excited following. I had to churn out quality content day after day. And then I was able to grow to the point where I don't have to do that as much. People know where to find me. My account still grows now without having to post every single day. But if you're not there yet, if you go missing, MIA, and I'm wondering if everything's okay, then that means that you need to be posting more. But eventually you'll get to the point where you're not having to babysit your Instagram account, but you have to water it. It's like a plant. You've got to foster that. Okay, so as we wind up my portion of the webinar today, I want to tell you a few things about the Instagram feed, because the Instagram feed is how you're going to get your content engaged with. The Instagram feed will allow people to actually see your content, click like, take action, give you a call. So one of the things that you need to know is the Instagram news feed is fast moving. And you know as well as I do, if you're on Instagram and you're scrolling your news feed, and maybe you notice that content you like and it just disappears, that is a thriving, dynamic news feed. What does that mean for you? That means that your content needs to be eye-catching, high quality, and engaging. You know high quality content belongs on the Instagram newsfeed. You're not going to get that engagement, and your content, your presence there is not going to grow. Another thing that you need to know is the lifetime of an Instagram post is very short. I see it. Well, you know, it's kind of like once I see it, now I don't. It just goes away like that in a flash. And of course, the Instagram feed is algorithm based. It is definitely based on a mathematical algorithm that's always changing. That's why it's important that you are in a webinar like this. And hopefully you guys will be able to catch my future webinars, because social media is something that's always changing. And my goal is to keep you updated with the latest and most current strategies when it comes to growing your business. And staying on top of things like algorithms can really help you not spin your wheels and do things that's not working anymore. Another thing that we want to think of, and I've mentioned this several times, engagement is key, guys. Engagement is key. You want to make sure that you have high quality engagement. You want engagement, and you want to give engagement. I was telling you earlier that I like sending video and audio clips to my Instagram audience. I always get feedback that when I send an audio clip and one of my Instagram followers listens to it, and they may back out of their message area, because that's where you send the audio clips, is through messages, that I am the first post that they see once they go back to their news feed. When you are able to send messages, not spamming people, we don't want to be those guys, but we do want to have impactful and engagement interaction. If you're able to do that, guys, your content's going to come up high for your audience when it comes to their newsfeed. And the last little known fact that I want to share with you, not a lot of people know this or realize, is that the first hour that you post something is the most important hour. You want to get the most engagement on that post in the first hour, because if you're not getting a lot of traction with that post in the first hour, Instagram's not going to show that content to a lot of people thereafter. So that first hour is the most important hour when it comes to engagement and growing your account. So we're going to talk about how to stand out in the Instagram newsfeed, guys. One of the things that you want to do when it comes to your content and to stand out is, guys, pictures of your face. And a lot of my clients really struggle with this, posting selfies and pictures of your face and videos. I know it puts you in a maybe even an uncharted territory that you're not comfortable with, but I'm telling you, if you start to do this and you become consistent and you're not wrapped up in perfection and you do it despite anything else, you're going to get more and more comfortable with it. How do you think I got here today? I just did it despite perfection, and I did it over and over. And sometimes I do feel like a dork. And sometimes I'm wondering if anybody's listening, but doing it, showing up every day, being consistent, you will grow a really solid brand, guys, okay? So I'm going to tell you, when you're posting things, you want to tag your location. So whatever areas, I'm not saying tag your address. That is not what I'm saying. But you want to make sure that when you're posting, you have an option, a location option. This helps your content come up in search. You want to always tag your location. It increases your engagement. Instagram is a search engine, so this is going to help people find you, especially if they're looking for things in that local area that you are looking to serve. All right, guys, and I want to show you real quick how my account here, I have a real quick video, and it's just basically scrolling down my Instagram news feed. As you can see, there's a balance here, a balance of content, number one. There's also a balance of colors. I'm using my brand color for the most part, but it's not boring. It's not the same old colors, but you can see what my brand is. My fonts are consistent. My content is pretty consistent as well. I do have client testimonials. You're able to see my human side as well. You're able to actually see that I'm more than just a marketing maven or whatever you'd like to call me. I have a life. I have a family. I'm doing other things aside from marketing. You're able to make a human connection with me. And so I'm not all over the place with my colors, with my content, with my font, guys. I'm pretty consistent with my content. So I tell people all the time, you may even like a graphic out there. You know, a lot of people get graphics off Pinterest or whatever. It's the best practice for you to take inspiration from that graphic and then maybe recreate it yourself in Canva so that you can make sure that the colors and the fonts are on par with your brand and you're not posting someone else's brand to your Instagram presence. Okay. All right. So we also, the analytics, you want to post your content when people are on Instagram. If not, you're not going to get that engagement. You want to check your insights. So that comes by way of that business profile. And early mornings, I typically post really early in the morning, probably about 8 a.m. I get the most engagement at that time. All right, and we've already talked about colors and fonts. I just want to be able to go to your profile, guys, and see the essence. I want to get a feeling for your brand. You know, when you're consistent with your colors, your look, your feel, and your brand, do you know that you're conveying to your prospects and leads that you're going to give them a high quality, a consistent level of service when you work with them one-on-one? They automatically equate value. They automatically equate integrity with you when you are able to provide a consistency in your brand. And so that's why it's so important. Let's talk about hashtags. Guys, I know that you all have a lot of questions about hashtags. How to get discovered. If you are posting content on Instagram, 70% increase in likes you'll get if you're using hashtags. So let's talk about hashtags. Your hashtags, number one, need to be relevant. I know people that post the same hashtags over and over that have nothing to do with their content. Do you know Instagram deems that as spam? So whatever post, if you have date night with hubby or wifey or whatever, or girlfriend, whatever that is, if you have date night and you're posting a selfie of you on a date with your you know, now we're dating in our pajamas in the living room, but still, if you want to do a selfie of that, then you want to go ahead and use hashtags that are equated with date night and that sort of thing. You don't want to have hashtags that are all about real estate or whatever that you do, because those hashtags have nothing to do with that content. And Instagram deems that as spam using hashtags. You're spamming people with hashtags. Another thing that you don't want to do when you're using hashtags is use the same ones over and over and over again. You actually want to have about 4 or 5 sets of hashtags saved in Google Docs or notes on your phone. And you want to copy and paste those hashtags, but you want to go between different hashtags daily. So you don't want to have the same hashtags over and over, okay? That's not going to help you at all. You want to have a certain set. So what hashtags to use? So as you can see here, I have a lot of examples, and I'll send you my Instagram cheat sheet. It actually has some examples for you as well. In order to decide what types of hashtags to use. But if you are in real estate, you want to use your city as a hashtag, and I have different variations here for what types of hashtags to use. You can also do some hashtag keyword research, and we'll talk about that as well. So with hashtags, why? People always ask me, what are hashtags? Why do I need to use them? For one, hashtags get you higher engagement. It allows hashtags, what they do is if you use the hashtag symbol right before a word, it allows your word to be keyword searchable and discoverable. It makes your content more discoverable. People can follow certain hashtags. So if you are using certain types of hashtags on your content, people actually follow them. And every time you post, your content will come up for them automatically in their newsfeed. Another thing that you want to do with hashtags is hashtag research, and that's what I do. I look at competitors who are doing Instagram very well, and I see what types of hashtags they're using. It's research that you're doing. Another thing that you can do is actually go to Instagram, hit the little search field, type in a word and under tags, and see what type of hashtags people are using for that word. The only thing with that, guys, is if you can see my example here, well-traveled is a hashtag. It's been used 3 million times. Just think about that. If you decide to use this hashtag, your content's gonna be buried amongst 3 million different other posts. Okay, so you want to make sure that the hashtags that you're choosing have not been used 3 million times. And if they have, you want to use other hashtags associated with that one. So for me, a more quality hashtag here, and this is only for purposes of presentation, I wouldn't use this hashtag, but there's the fourth one down, Why Project. That would be, to me, a higher quality hashtag because it hasn't been used a million times. It's not going to get buried amongst 3 million other posts. Okay, so that would be how you do hashtag keyword research using Instagram. Okay. All right, so here's some tools that you can use to research hashtags. Planoly is an awesome tool. Google Keyword Research, you can just look that up on desktop. Instagram, I just showed you how to do keyword research with that. And there are a lot of phone apps out there that will show you the best types of hashtags to use. But one thing I want to say is you want to put your hashtags in the comments of your post. You don't want to clutter your content with hashtags. So here's an example that I have where I actually had a post, and instead of putting the hashtags next to my copy, I let my content post and then I put the hashtag in the comment section, and that'll clean it up and it'll make it not look so cluttered. Okay. All right, guys, and the next time we get together, judging from the comments here, the next time we get together, we're going to be doing a webinar on Instagram stories. I think it's a wonderful tool we all should be using. It's a great platform. I have a lot of hacks for you, and also, as of right now, your Instagram story content only lasts 24 hours, but I have a special hack that will get that content on your profile forever. And so join me next time for the webinar on Instagram stories. It'll be next week, same time. I'll send out an invitation, and I would absolutely love to have you, okay? Before we get into questions, I also want to let you know that we do online marketing and branding. We have a special right now for everybody on the webinar. We're doing a social media cleanup and optimization. We can kick off your social media. So ask me, just send me a message, send me a comment, or even an email at info@competitivebrand.com. I would love to talk to you about all of the amazing services that we have. Now is the time, and better time than ever, to get your branding up to par. So this is only for everybody on the live webinar, not anybody watching the replay. If you are watching the replay, send me an email and I'll get you the updated pricing. All right, guys, let's get into it. We've got the questions I promised you. I hope everybody stayed to the end. Like I said, I have a special treat for everybody who stayed to the end. So I'm going to go ahead and go through. If you guys could just continue to answer questions. And Nicole asked if she can record. Yes, I am recording. So if you want to catch the replay, I would be happy to send that over to you. Helen asked, how can you put a video on Instagram that's more than 1 minute? So Helen, yeah, so you cannot do that in your news feed, but you can post on IGTV. Okay, so when you go to Instagram and you're uploading that very long video, go ahead and go through the process of doing that. And then Instagram will give you the option of choosing IGTV. And I suggest that. I get a lot of engagement and views when I use IGTV. Tammy Johnson, how do you create a brand? Tammy, that is a long question. we're definitely with Instagram, your brand is going to come. I mean, I'm sorry, that's not a long question. That's a long answer. But with Instagram, your brand's going to come by way of your visuals, your colors, and your consistency, okay? And so that's a lot of the things that we discussed in this webinar. If you have specific questions about how to create a brand, feel free to reach out to me, Tammy. I know your information, so we'll actually be talking through that. Tammy's a client of mine going through my coaching program, and so Tammy and I will actually be working together on her brand. Don, yes, all of these tips can be used for other businesses, absolutely. Please elaborate on the algorithm presence in IG controls, how IG controls users. Yes, so that algorithm is always changing. Instagram favors engagement, favors comments. So if you're getting engagement on your content, the algorithm will show your content to more people. Zanetta says, how do you improve your video presence? What are the essential skills to produce a compelling video? Because I'm only answering Instagram questions right now, Zanetta, you actually gave me a wonderful idea for a future webinar. If you want a complimentary consultation, I can speak with you one-on-one. I do a complimentary 15-minute consultation. If you have any other questions aside from Instagram, I'll send you a link to my calendar, Zanetta. You can get on there and we can talk in more detail about video, okay? Garrett says, I do not have a business profile. Hopefully you got one set up or you're doing that with the steps that I provided in the webinar. All right, so Mark, okay. Oh, Mark's never used Instagram. Let me know, Mark, in the comments if you plan on using it after this. Helen says, how do you decide the right hashtag? I love this question, Helen. So what you want to do is use the research tools that I gave you. Use the research tools that I provided for you. However, let me give you an example. On Mondays, we post a positive quote. And on Fridays, we post a funny meme. And so we want to make sure that our hashtags are relevant to those different, specifically different types of content. And so when we post Monday, maybe a positive quote, it's going to be our hashtags are positivity, inspiration, motivational, Monday mood, hashtag Monday. So you really want to make sure that your hashtags are relevant to your content. And as well, you want to make sure, especially if you're dedicated to the local community, you're using hashtags that are associated with that local community that you operate in. Okay. Yes, Garrett says stories. I got you, Garrett. We're going to go ahead and get you guys all hooked up with stories. I'd love to do a training. Helen, yes, would love. You guys let others know. Go ahead and share stories. Let us know if you want some stories, and I'll go ahead and get that done. We'll do that next week and share. I'd love for you guys to share your experience with everyone else. Simona says in chat, I'm interested in stories. Gloria says interested in stories. Zanetta, we're going to go ahead and you need to go ahead and get that business account set up. You've got my steps. Yes, Mark, I think lately for me, Instagram is more effective than Facebook. Mark, let me know if you're in real estate, because most of the people who are here are in real estate. If you're a real estate professional, guys, you know better than I do that Facebook has made it really hard for you to market your business. There are so many pitfalls that they throw up when it comes to marketing your business with with Facebook. There's so many rules now. Now, Facebook does own Instagram, but it's a lot more lax there. You can do a lot more things with your Instagram presence, especially if you're in real estate, and you get that engagement. You get that engagement that you don't get when it comes to having a one-on-one engagement with your audience. So guys, I'm leaving a link to my calendar if you are interested in a 15-minute marketing consultation. Feel free to get on my calendar. I can answer any questions that you have that's not Instagram related or is, if you want to do a follow up. Okay. So it says that, yes, yes, Mark, please do Instagram. Let me know how that goes. I absolutely advocate that for that. That would be awesome. Don says, my thoughts on the clean look of posting the same pic 3 times. So when people view your profile, it has a solid look. I think that's for our type A's, Dawn. And if you consider yourself, I don't live in that world, I'm not a type A. But if you consider yourself, if that's your brand, if that's your personality, just that cleaned up look and feel, then yes. To me being a creative, I'm not a type A. I need variety, and I need my Instagram presence to have a little spice. So I use the similar colors and fonts, but I do like to keep my profile people on their toes. I don't want them to get bored with my content. I want them to keep checking back for more. I don't want them to go, well, why should I go look at her profile? It's the same stuff. So I think that's the thing that you should keep in mind if you decide to do that. Oh, okay, Garrett, right above, if you can see, if you can click on that link I just left, you can get on my calendar there. And guys, join my Facebook here too. I have a Facebook group. It's exclusive to real estate professionals and small business owners who are looking to grow their business. It's the Real Estate Marketing Academy, okay? Oh, you know what? I think that I actually, I think, I think that maybe.
Hey guys, that's the end of the webinar. Thank you so much for watching this replay. Don't forget, we host a webinar once per week. The next webinar is going to be all about Insta Stories. I really hope you can join us for that. Hope you have a great day. Take care.